Congratulations. Worked so hard, forgot how to vacation.
In the locker to deal with Stacia Suttles of the United States, who's got a significant height and reach advantage. This is a Davina against Goliath clash.
Yes, it certainly, and Suttles has a major height advantage. She can use her left jab from a distance, but let's see how it turns out to be, because she can be quicksilver Sudapon Sesondi.
One.
So here we go. It's the American Suttles in red, Sesondi in blue. Sesondi, nimble on her feet, middle of the ring, just trying to peg down the American who caught the tie with two early blows there. And she looks very sharp indeed to Stacia Suttles.
Judge for Romania.
Great movement.
Great gritty competitor, the Thai girl. She's coming on, piling on the punches, keeps a high guard, moves into close quarters. The short-statured boxer has to do that. Going to be a good bout.
And she certainly knows the time of day, the time, she's been caught with a little tag there in the right hand of Suttles. And Suttles at the moment seems to be in control here. The Thai just struggling to find her range, and that huge height and reach advantage really helping her. You can see Suttles can telegraph most of the punches when they're coming in, is bobbing and weaving out the way well, and that may be Sesondi's best chance to try and engage her toe-to-toe, but the American at the moment, Suttles, too clever for that. She caught her with the left there though. That's the first decent shot landed by the Thai.
Yes, and Suttles caught slightly off guard. She started very subtly, very clever, Suttles, using the left jab to pick up points and then circling out of the way. But the Thai girl, very determined, the grit and determination on her face is there to see. 1 minute 23 seconds left for the end of the first round. Suttles using the left jab, following with the right. Not getting the openings that she desired. Sudapon, Sesondi, stockily built. Going for a left, not connecting.
Good work again from the American. Nice little combination. Not much velocity on the punches, but they were scoring shots nonetheless. And again, even though it's the Thai trying to box on the front foot, Stacia Suttles at the moment is quite comfortable here and seems to be in control of this bout with 30 seconds to go in the first.
Yeah, she's picking up points by using her reach very effectively. Stacia Suttles of the United States of America got a decisive height advantage, longer arms, and good hand speed as we come to the last 15 seconds of round one.
Yeah, a first round that's gone the way of the American, but still enough glimmers of light for the Thai fighter, Sesondi, to think she might still be a factor in this contest, but she's going to have to do this coming from behind in the second and third rounds. First round for me going the way of the American. Had to tell you why this is going on in the A ring and the B ring. North Korea, who of course had a real star in Cho yesterday, who was cheered to the rafters by a strong North Korean contingent. They have another fighter in the women's 60 kilogram preliminaries, Hai Song Cho. She once more is being cheered on by a boisterous crowd. But back to this television ring, and Sesondi only really with one meaningful shot landed in that first round. It was all Suttles other than that, and you can see the American coaching team. An interesting story here, I believe that's actually Billy Walsh, who's an Irish coach, now has been poached by the American females team, and he was the previous coach of Katie Taylor, of course, the Irish boxing sensation who's recently turned professional. So the Americans have poached an Irish boxing coach, and at the moment his impact seems to be doing Stacia Suttles the world of good.
Well, they haven't had a good start to the second day, with the World Championship bronze medalist losing to the Indian sensation Manisha Mon. So he'll be hoping for Stacia Suttles to get some glory and joy to the United States of America. But talking about North Korea, they're a very successful boxing nation in amateur women's boxing. 7 gold, 7 silver, 7 bronze medals in the 9 previous editions. But a brisk start to the second round, Patrick. Both boxers slugging it out. as the Thai girl trying to come within close range and getting in a couple of blows against Stacia Suttles. Not very successful so far. Stacia Suttles again picking up points with the long probing left jabs.
First time in this round a right jab gets through from Sesondi. But Suttles brilliant with her movement, and again she's doing a great job of leading with the left and then following up with the right. She does it again there, and Sesondi is taking on plenty of punishment here. Stacia Suttles, marvellous work on the movement. You can't overestimate just how tiring that is, the bobbing and the weaving, and she's a bundle of energy, Suttles, all the way through the contest. She's not been giving Sesondi a moment's peace.
Yeah, she certainly is a bundle of energy, but Stacia Suttles is a very clever boxer. You can see her using the ring very well. And she's not an easy target because she keeps bobbing and weaving, swaying, getting out of harm's way. So she doesn't set herself up as an easy target, Stacia Suttles. We are 1 minute 15 seconds away from the end of round 2, going much the same way. And Sesondi will have to pull out something from the bag to, make an impact.
Just can't see where it's going to come from, Novi, because Stacia Suttles with that height rate advantage and with the better movement than the Thai fighter is really bossing this at the moment. No doubt about that. And again, she gets twice in quick succession. Make that 3 times the left jab comes through from the American. Sesondi is having some joy, but it's minimal, and Stacia Suttles, surely in the eyes of the judges, is bossing this contest convincingly. Another contender in what's looking like a really strong field at lightweight, Novi. Mira Potkinen, we've just seen Karshevich, and now Stacia Suttles. They're 3 live contenders for a medal from where I'm standing, and also I think all 3 of them in the same half of the draw as well. It's a very competitive half of the draw.
It certainly is, because they are in the same half, and over here I think Stacia Suttles should do it, and then she will take on the winner of the next round, that is the Mongolian girl against Poonam Rawal. Here we come to the end of round 2. I think Stacia Suttles has edged it so far. Some joy to the American camp.
Well, it's the Thai girl now gasping for air as the tank begins to empty. She had minimal joy in that second round. The better shots again landed by Stacia Suttles, who had a real field day with the left jab on 3 consecutive occasions. Can't fault Sesondi for her endeavour and her effort in trying to come forward, but it's come at a cost because she is now blowing really hard. The Thai girl is blowing extremely hard, and she's barely broken sweat, Suttles. And Sesondi grasping for air here in her corner as her seconds try and give her some encouragement ahead of the 3rd and final. Here we go then, 3rd and final round. Can we see a comeback of epic proportions from Suttaporn Sesondi? Looks unlikely.
It's now or never for Sesondi, the Thai girl in the blue corner. Stacia Suttles, in fact, increasing the pace and intensity of her attacks. Very stylish boxer to watch with that bobbing shoulders. Unexpected punches and jabs. Leads with the left, follows up with a high right. 30 seconds into the 3rd round. Stacia Suttles seems to have things under her control. Been a good clean bout, as the English referee has had very little to separate
the 2 boxers. It's a great point, that, Novi. It's a great point, because of all the fights we've seen today, this one seems to have flowed the best, and that's to the credit of both fighters. And Sesondi has certainly not been outclassed here. She's just been unable really to match the American for her height and reach, as the American comes through with another right that connects. And I think that's set her on her way to clean sweeping all 3 rounds here. This has been a convincing display from Stacia Suttles, and you can add her name to the list of medal contenders in a very competitive top half of the women's lightweight draw.
Round 3.
Well, it's now or never for Sasondi. What can she do? Does she have any tricks up her sleeve?
And that was a left that got through, Novi. It's most likely she's looked at the third, and then she connected with the right. Well, is it too little, too late? You'd have to think so, but a couple of decent shots, and there's still 1:15 to go. Any way of rocking the American backwards here in what surely's going to take now a stoppage to win this.
But Stacia Suttles also retaliating, pinning Sasondi to a corner, who gets away from a difficult situation as we enter the last 60 seconds of this, what has been a very fast, free-flowing bout.
It certainly has flowed freely, but surely it's now flowing in the Americans' direction. If we go to the cards, we expect a minimum of 3 or 4 point gaps between these two on all 5 cards. I'd be very surprised if it was anything less than that. Oh, lovely uppercut there. Left uppercut from Stacia Suttles found its way through to the intended target. And she's now fighting a lost cause to tie. She's blowing very hard in that ring. The English referee has a word with her one of the few times he's had to interject. She's still going to the bitter end here, but Stacia Suttles again manages to come through straight through the middle with a left and then a right. And great combination work from the American, who maybe senses a finish here. She's going with a left slate flurry. Bit reckless when you consider she's ahead on the cards. But that should be that. We'll go to the cards and it'll be an American victory for sure, Novi.
It should be. She was grease lightning at the end, Stacia Suttles. And a very dramatic ending. The Thai girl took a bit of a pounding at the end, as we'll see in the third round highlights. Gets in a good left jab, Sasondi in the blue corner. It's been hyperactive, the third round. And there they are trading blows. Sasondi also gets in a couple of left jabs. But then Stacia Suttles piles on the pressure right in the end. Now, Patrick, the verdict.
Got to be by 3 points on each card at least, surely.
Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, the winner on points by split decision.
Split decision? You got to be kidding me.
Is in the blue corner.
I cannot believe what I have just seen. I cannot believe what I have just seen. That is scandalous, quite frankly. That is absolutely outrageous. The worst decision of the championships by a country mile. And I do feel for Suttapon Sesandi, it's not her fault. And the judge from Chinese Taipei and Colombia, they're the only two that have got that spot.
Goodbye.